So this will be a very quick video. Somebody asked me, how do you make your own prefabs? And I'm going to show you how to do that really quick here. If you watch the boss fight video that I did, you'll know that we had two different scenes. And in each scene we had this little crown guy who had some sort of a bunch of parameters with it, and if you look in the first scene, he has all of these things like a player controller script, a box collider, and a rigid body. And then if you go to the boss fight scene, it doesn't have all that stuff, and I was trying to just be really quick about it. But what you can do between scenes is you can save off a prefab. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this thing to player. And we really only need to have one copy of this player because it's going to be the same in every scene we go to. So there's no reason to have to recreate it, and make sure that we get the rigid body and the is kinematic checked. Make sure that the box collider 2D has all the right sizes, all that sort of stuff we shouldn't have to do. We should only have to do that once. And the way you do that is to make a prefab of this object. And it's pretty easy. You just take it from your hierarchy, and all you do is just drag it into your assets. Now this is a prefab, and it's got all of these settings. All of these parameters, all of these components are all a part of it. And so it looks kind of the same. This is our image, but this is the prefab. And now if I save this and I go into our boss fight, I'm going to delete the little crown that we have there and then just drag in the prefab. And I can scale it up. So I will scale this thing just a little bit because I think in this scene we wanted to have it, like a little zoomed in feel. And that's okay, that you can do that, and you can go back to your other scene and it's still small, and then you can come to this one and it's big again. So if we run this thing, we can see that we have all of our controls working, and then they all work in this one as well. So it's really easy to create a prefab. You just create the object that you want and then just drag it down into your assets window. And then this thing's ready to go in any scene that you have. So creating prefabs is a pretty easy thing to do, and it's also very powerful. But you also have to be a little bit concerned. Like if I go into our boss fight, and here's our player, and I've made some changes to this player prefab. Remember, I scaled it up quite a bit. If I were to hit the apply button, that is going to apply these changes that I did to the prefab, which means all of these other scenes that are using this thing are going to get that customization. So if I want to just leave this thing alone and make it this size for only this scene, I'm not going to hit that apply button, because if I do, it's going to scale it up for all the other scenes as well. So just be a little careful about when you use this apply button and when you don't, and it makes things a lot easier. So yeah, there's a really quick tutorial on doing prefabs.